Yeah, I'm just gonna ask Be Mad at something real quick. Do you believe in the theory that a man could unlock a woman's femininity?
That do I believe that they can?
Yeah, because all right, so we've talked about this before, where like women
Your
would
hand, your
say,
answer has
I
to be
just need,
yes.
Yeah.
I just need the
I mean,
man, I just
yeah.
need the man, I just need the man to unlock my femininity. You believe in that?
Oh, when they say that, when they say I need the right
Yeah.
man to unlock, okay, because they want to be feminine for this a particular type of dude that's their type. Um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Masculine
yes, I
Alpha Male
believe
gonna
that.
kick in the
Yes.
door and
Yes. Yes, I believe that. I believe that I don't I believe that they use that lip service. I believe they use that lip service all day, but they're gonna get soft for the one that makes them feel soft. And that's just what it is. Should they move around that way? No, I don't think they should. But at the same time, you're looking at women that are, nowadays that are being some that are being really picky, as they should when they're looking for a partner, when they're looking for a husband. They should be picky. It should be the ones that they feel as though that can cover them, can protect them, can provide for them, can give them and they look the way they need them to look and all that kind of stuff too, just like we do when we're choosing a woman. You got to look like the way I like you to look. You got to have the right kind of heart, the right kind of energy and the mindset I need you to have.
listen.
I'll be a good boyfriend to the one that I want. The one that I don't want, I'm just gonna be whatever.
Hey, B Matt, can you elaborate a little bit? Because I seen some facial expressions when you say, um, when you mentioned that you can unlock it, you just got to be the right person. Can you just elaborate a little bit on
I
that?
mean, personally, I've dated women who might have been a little bit, harder to get along with. I've dated women that might have been every dude couldn't get to her and that kind of stuff. But when I got to her, it was a different situation. She opened up like a beautiful flower,
Okay,
so like a delicate flower. So
I want to
All
ask you.
right, porno
Hold
star.
hold on.
I'm just saying.
All right, so we have a lot of.
I'm not trying to be funny. Like seriously though, it's the right kind of energy, and I was her cup of tea,
Okay,
and she got softer with someone that's her cup of tea.
I want to ask you this. So for the men that complains all the time about masculine women, would you say is more so um, the man's problem? Or would you say it's the woman's problem if they are encountering masculine women or speaking about masculine women being an issue?
I'm not going to pretend like we're
Shit,
not in
mama,
the
what you
times
doing?
that we're in, and the fact that you've got more of that masculine energy in women nowadays. The boss bitch type of mentality. That's really a myth. I mean, like there's women out here that are starting businesses, but are they still doing it? Are they finishing them? Are they successful in them? Are they turning profits? Are they really quitting their jobs and really building like a large business? I mean, not in mass. No, they're not. So that's not fully realistic. We have to get our women out of the delusions that TV, media, and the internet have been feeding them for a long time. But at the end of the day, um, whose problem is it? It's our problem because we can't procreate with the ones we need to procreate with and build strong black families and whatnot if everyone's on different pages. So it's everybody's issue. But at the end of the day, the men choose who ends up with the ring. The men choose who ends up with the babies and with the families. So yeah, I think it's our deal, but we're gonna choose. So the ones that are too masculine gonna end up by their damn selves anyway. So they're gonna end up having a commune with other masculine type chicks or whatever. And then the ones that are more feminine or whatever, they're the ones who end up getting married. They're the ones who end up with the rings. They're the ones because at the end of the day, we don't want to have to teach you how to be soft. We don't want to teach you how to be a woman. We want to teach you how to love us individually and our love languages and what we need to be in our programming. But at the end of the day, I can't teach you how to be a woman. You either know that shit or you don't.
I think it's
I
kind
think
of
it's only a problem
it's
for the person that
delusional for us
accepts it.
to think. I think it's delusional for us to think that we unlock women to be feminine. Like that to me personally, that concept is mind blowing. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like if this is a woman, you're
Mhm.
supposed to be feminine. You know what I'm saying?
Should be.
Period.
Should be. Yeah.
It shouldn't matter I shouldn't have to unlock this in you. It should already be in you. And if it's not in you, then it just ain't in you. Now, I may be the right man to further mature it, but to unlock it, you know what I'm saying? I think using that
Well, I
term,
guess.
Biz, I'm thinking more so opening her up more. That's what I mean. I mean, open her up emotionally, and falling in line like relationally. That's more so I'm talking about, not like unlocking her to be a feminine woman around me and she's masculine if I don't. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking like
But
to
that's
open
any
her
woman
up,
that's attracted to it.
take down that wall, all that type of stuff. Because some walk around with a big ass brick wall because they get hit on like 24/7.
but
So
is
they
that
got a wall up to
Yeah,
most men.
but is
that's
that
just
them being
attraction.
feminine though? I don't think that's necessarily them being
Shan,
feminine.
you on mute, Shan.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get some.
Oh,
Yeah, let's go get some of the other brothers. So we got Nelson and then
Shan over here having a whole conversation on mute.
yeah, Shan.
Look like he was throwing up gang signs.
Right, exactly. I know he in Cali, shit.
Well, all right, go ahead, Shan.
Yeah, that's not that's just a woman being guarded.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily masculinity. She's just being protective of herself, but being guarded and protective is not necessarily masculine. And so, B. Madden, on the last point that you mentioned, women don't typically soften up once their frontal lobe is developed. We got this saying, B. Madden, you in the gym, I'm in the gym. We got this saying in the gym. It doesn't get easier, you just get stronger. Working out doesn't get easier, you just get stronger.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we build more weight. And so what happened when that woman that you was dating, that you thought softened up, she didn't soften up. She was the same woman she always was. It's just you was a stronger man than those glass guys that she dated. And so a lot of women that say things like, oh, you know what, I just need the right man to make me become feminine. No, you need the right man that is strong enough to handle your masculine ass, where the last men ain't dealing with that. And so you think that you softened up, but you didn't soften up. You're the same woman that you've always been, especially when they're older. You just got a dude that ain't having that shit, ain't dealing with that shit, and you like him enough that you'll tolerate the shit that he's telling you, but you didn't typically change your personality. People don't just flip like that. And so women don't, it's not, men aren't unlocking women's femininity. You either are or you aren't. And depending on the guy that you're dating, is either gonna take that shit or he's not. And if you like him enough, you'll shut the fuck up. But you still be trying to talk shit the same way you would be with the other guy. Just the other guy is, he's not, argumentative. He doesn't want to get into no battles or whatever it is. Whereas the new dude might go upside your head. So for the women out there that think that they're gonna be soft for the right guy, no, you're not. You're gonna be the same hard ass you've always been, no matter who you date. Especially if you're over 25, in your 30s, certainly in your 40s. You just need a motherfucker that's gonna be able to tolerate that shit.
What?
But men who call women masculine, if it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, it's a duck. Shout out to Trip in the video, man. But I think he's placating to the audience.
Absolutely.
As they do, as they do on this show, and he's using it's semantics, man. We're not gonna play with Trip knows better than to play with semantics. He knows what men mean when they talk about a woman who's masculine. Clout was saying logic. Clout said he wants a woman that has. See, logic is not masculine. Using reason and intelligence is not necessarily masculine. Clout. And even Trip said, but Trip did say two things. He said assertive and disagreeable. And listen, the reality is assertiveness and disagreeableness are traits of masculinity. And Kenny, I think you mentioned that you wanted an assertive woman. You don't want an assertive woman, Kenny, because assertive is like, I'm gonna take charge, and disagreeable means I'm negotiating. It's one of the reasons why we could take our car to the mechanic and we not gonna get fucked when we hear a knock in the engine. But a woman goes to the mechanic all by herself. She's like fresh meat. It's like the mechanic is like rubbing his hands together, you know? So
Birdman hand rub.
yeah, the Birdman hand rub. When she pulls up in there, she said, I got my check engine light came on. I don't know what's going on. Can you help me? He's like, yeah, I got you. And she's gonna pay whatever it is because she's agreeable. You know, in fact, agreeable and disagreeable are personality traits listed in the DSM-5. Nelson knows about this. Nelson probably got a copy of the DSM-5, the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders.
You got to have it.
You got one sitting on his shelf. He knows. It's agreeableness is part of the 5-factor model. One of them is neuroticism. The other one is extrovert or extrovertism or something like that. Openness, agreeableness, and conscientiousness. Agreeableness is a trait of women, and it's feminine. It's the primary reason why the wage gap is a myth. It's because men, when they go to negotiate their salary at a job, I want $75,000 a year. And the employer says, well, we only have $60,000 available for the job. No problem. If you find the other $15,000, call me. The woman goes to the same job interview. I want $75,000 a year. The employer says, we only got $60,000. She says, okay, I'll take it. And then they hire her, but then they realize they need another person. And then they call the guy up. Hey, we found that $15,000. Can you come in? And so now she's getting paid 60 and he's getting paid 75 for doing the same job, working on the same team, but they don't discuss their salary until they get told. And Tripp knows that men are talking about women who do not turn that masculinity, assertiveness and disagreeableness off. Because there's women that's out there like that in the workforce. But when you get home, turn that shit off. Cloud, you touched on it at the end. The issue is, it's not that men have an issue with women's masculinity at work, because we don't deal with you at work. That's between you and your coworkers and your subordinates and your boss and your manager and your supervisor and all of that. And you got to get that expense report done by Friday, and you got a deadline, and you got a Zoom meeting with the regional man. Fine, do all of that shit. But when you get to this front door, you turn that shit off. But what's happening is women aren't turning it off. They getting home and they think they the boss of the house. They think they the boss of you. They trying to micromanage you. And you like, wait, what? Hold on. I don't work for you. That ain't how that's not how that goes. And so we know when we call women masculine, it's because you're being masculine with me. And you picked up that masculinity on your road to your PhD. You started off when you was a young girl, and you took it to college, and you graduated college, and you fought for that degree, and you got your second degree, you got your master's, and now you got that, and then you got your moniker, and now you run out into the work field, and you're a junior executive in the corner office, but you sitting in a cubicle, and you want to get your own private, and you working, and then you want to date, and you think you're gonna come micromanage me at home. That's not happening. You keep that shit at work, but women are oftentimes not turning that off. So men who call women masculine is calling them that for a reason, not because we're assessing her behavior at her job. I'm at my job. I don't know. I ain't worried about that. All I want to hear about is your wins of the day, baby. But when we get here, I'm the boss. And a lot of women ain't having that. They want to be the boss at home and at work. And that's the problem. And Tripp knows that that's what men is talking about.